Hello guys, it's us
Hi.
again, Green Designs.
We're back here again for another interview. Again for Isola Design District, which is a online exhibition this year, and we're very happy to be official partners. And we were able to choose 10 designers to exhibit their projects online on the Isola platform, but also we're featuring them on our page. And just an hour ago, we posted about a project which is also something we're gonna do the interview about now.
Yeah, and I think we're really stoked to have you guys here, tuning us with us again. So I think more or less we will be able to add Paula to this call in a couple of minutes. And I think also once again, if you have any questions, feel free to post them below, and we will answer all of them together with Paula. So
yes, Paula, please request to join, then we can add you.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think you need to request, and then we can add you. Sorry. Or can we do it another way? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think maybe we can try. No.
Pilot.
So, Paula, I think you just have to click on...
Or go outside the... go out and in again, and then we can add you, hopefully, because it should pop up for you. Yeah. Sorry for everyone that's waiting. It's just complicated. Oh! Okay, unable to...
Yeah, it says right now that Paula is unable to join, but maybe...
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. We don't want to talk too much about her project. I mean, we can also introduce it ourselves, but I think it would be really cool.
If you haven't seen the post already, you can check it out, and then you can ask some questions later.
Yeah. Paula, you can just maybe, once again, just join this live, and then we can add you to our conversation. Yeah,
oh, she's there.
Still says unable to join.
Okay. It's really weird. I don't know why. Are you... No. Unable. We really don't know why this is happening. We also thought it was easy, but...
For you to join, but...
Okay. And it's also annoying that you can't really organize it beforehand. So it's always, like a little bit stressful.
It's all live, so...
Requests. It says unable.
Yes. I think it's working now. Let's wait for Paula. Paula, are you able to Yay!
Woo. Okay, cool.
You did it.
Sorry, we're just gonna make it.
Hi guys. So sorry, I tried to join via my laptop, and apparently, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much for having me. I hope you can hear me well.
Yeah. Perfectly fine. And thank you very much for the time and being here with us.
Yes.
Of course, thank you.
It's really nice that everything works now. And we would like to ask you to tell us something about yourself, just a general introduction.
Sure. First of all, I'm delighted to be here with you guys. You do awesome work. I follow you. Me. So I am a material designer. I like to say that I'm a designer and explorer actually, because I come from textiles, but I've always been intrigued about science and learning new things. So about a year ago, I embarked on a journey to, develop my own biomaterials.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing that since then. I'm also um, working on other projects that explore other areas. So I'm an entrepreneur. I work on a fintech startup at the moment, looking at um, how to engage, educate people in investing in sustainable businesses.
Oh.
So approaching from a completely different angle. But yeah, so what's always involved in my work is the thought of sustainability, our connection to the planet, to nature, and yeah, how we people can sort of be part of that. And yeah, I guess why you invited me is actually, so just mumbling on about other projects, but why you invited me, I guess, are my research projects around biomaterials that are based on household food waste and also industrial food waste, or as I like to call it, surplus
Mm-hmm.
from food production. And I create my own recipes and a variety of materials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really, yeah, that's why we invite you. That's really great, two materials that you came up with. And I hope that our viewers have seen the post about them. But if they haven't, maybe you can also explain the two materials shortly.
Mhm.
And maybe
Sure.
a little a model of them. If you don't, that's totally fine. But no, okay.
Um, well, if you don't mind that I just disappear for a moment.
That's totally fine.
Okay, just walking out of the image.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out this post yet, please feel free to do so.
Okay.
And
she's already back.
that's it.
I'm back. Yeah, as I'm currently in my home office, everything is very close. I've got my materials here. Um, yeah, so I guess if you go to Green Designs and look at the post, you'll see how I developed a variety of finishes for my materials and also prototypes for products. And maybe they're easier to sort of see in the photos, but I will try. So the first ever material I made is actually called Aquifer Foam. And it's based on aquafaba, which is the starchy liquid that you get as a byproduct when you cook your own chickpeas. You also get it when you cook beans and so on, but I actually use the one from chickpeas, and it's fantastic. It's also used in the vegan kitchen sometimes, but in households you often just pour it away. So I use it to create this sort of pink material. Just trying to turn it a bit so you can see it. I don't have an actual product on me, but you'll see it's a bit plastic-like. The color comes from the aquafaba, and it's quite foamy due to the I'm gonna say sorry, foamy qualities of the aquafaba. You can foam it up. It's exciting. It's bendable, it's a bit stretchable, and it's a fantastic material that could replace some of the fossil fuel-based plastics. But these things have to be said with care because, of course, there is a lot of testing involved, whether these new biomaterials can actually be used for all products. Then I have my cocoa material, which is very different to the aquafaba one. So while the aquafaba one is plastic-like, this is very solid. It contains surplus from a local chocolate manufacturer. They're called Stork. You guys might know them. They do really yummy chocolate. It's amazing. And they gave me some of their surplus, and I use it to create this material, which, is also coated. It's water repellent. Yeah, and I'm currently looking into getting it actually manufactured on larger scale, as we find this byproduct from chocolate, from the chocolate industry all over the world. It's the husk that I use. So yeah, it's got great potential, and the resource is available in many places. So yeah, those are my two materials. If you have any questions, just shoot, you know.
So maybe, yeah, I think we have some product related questions we might ask and start with them. Yeah.
Yeah. So our first question is if you if you can imagine, but you've already said something about that. If you can imagine producing them on a larger scale and creating products out of that in a way.
Yeah. So production is, yeah, a very relevant topic when looking at new materials. But it depends on the resource. So the cocoa husk is available in larger amounts in many places all over the world. So one could actually collaborate with chocolate manufacturers, let's say in Switzerland, and sort of source this resource and get that manufactured in the same country. And yes, I think it's quite promising. The R&D, the research and development for larger production takes quite a long time, a lot of patience, a lot of money as well. So while I think many people like me start off with just putting ingredients together, just going wild and yeah, designing new materials, actually getting it manufactured is a huge step into a different direction. But even if it was manufacturable on larger scale, which I think it is, there might be a restriction, because with using surplus, there might always be an end to that. Ideally, one day there will be no surplus from food production because it will completely be used for something else, or maybe the production methods might be less wasteful. So if we're looking at less wasteful, yeah, how do you, now I lost the word. Sorry, you guys, forgive me, sometimes I just lose the words, but I'll just move on to my aquafaba, which, as I said, is based on household surplus. So that's a whole different thing. This aquafaba is currently not available on larger scale, a larger amount from the industry. At least I haven't found that. If anyone knows something about it, let me know. So it's mostly household, and I think we waste about 30% of the food that we use at home. So we need to make good use of that, and there must be ways, but the traditional manufacturing methods might not fit that. But if we're looking at sort of smaller scale, right, and going more local, and maybe creating these systems where, maybe I'm in Berlin, right, and maybe in my community we could share this surplus, the one that we can't eat anymore. And maybe there's a small micro factory that could actually make use of this surplus and produce those materials locally on small scale. And there will always be some surplus sort of running in. So, but that goes into a completely different thought direction, I think. But yeah, we're looking at two different ideas and scenarios. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Paula, for your insights. Maybe also regarding the cocoa. You talked a lot about the ecological dimension of sustainability. So also including maybe a social perspective. Do you think, or do you have any thoughts on how to also, I don't know, maybe keep the cocoa raw material fair trade, or to also include, as I said, maybe a social fairness aspect to your product? Have you thought about something like that?
I'm not sure I understood correctly, but whether there would be a fair trade label on my materials, or where I source the resource from would need to be fair trade.
Yes, supply wise the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But ideally, one would look at the whole supply chain, and like the whole life cycle of the material, where am I sourcing that from, and then sort of make sure that there are there's fair labor, and everything fair trade, organic, and so on. I find when you begin to develop a material, it can sometimes be a bit hard. So I try to find someone who's local, but between us, that chocolate manufacturer does not necessarily produce fair trade or organic. But that would not stop me from trying to make use of their massive, massive amount of surplus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if those materials could have any impact on the supply chain, that would be great. If the materials that so many material designers now develop, if they could really impact the market, then that could again impact how the whole supply chain works. Based on maybe user demand or depending on all the different stakeholders involved, so all the different parts that are involved in the circle. Someone has to start, and then hopefully it spreads. Yeah.
And maybe also one thing, maybe you watched the interview with Luis we had yesterday, but he was also talking about maybe making his material open source project. So, for example, talking about the surplus. Have you thought about doing so? Maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So currently, these two materials are not open source because I'm working with two manufacturers the moment, and yeah, you have to sign NDAs, so non-disclosure agreements, and so on. So especially looking at scaling up, there are these restrictions where suddenly someone wants you to be like, like you're not allowed to talk about it or something. But with my other materials, I'm very open to share. And I'm actually currently working on a concept for a workshop, which I will hopefully give soon. That will be online and live, where, I hope to sort of dive into materials connected to food surplus with the community. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Sounds really promising, definitely.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we have any other questions.
Well, maybe is there something you want to tell our followers and your followers that they need to know about you and your project?
I'm not sure. Sorry. So yeah, if you're curious, you can go to my Instagram. You will find a lot of information on my website. I'm also on the Isola Design District design community now for this week. And you're always welcome to send me a message via Instagram or an email if you have any questions or want to get involved or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very exciting to see all the projects now on Isola Design District. And yeah, we just want to see if the audience has any questions, or maybe they've already sent in some. I'm not sure.
If not, feel free to do so.
Yeah.
Maybe just some comments.
We're just looking through them. That's why we're looking weird way.
They're appreciating your framing surplus.
I think.
I think more or less seems like
they understand everything.
No question.
As you said.
And I think we're pretty happy to have you. Also, regarding your post, was really successful right now.
Yeah.
So it seems like people like it a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, really beautiful pictures and just very inspiring to see what you can do with food waste at home. Like everyone could do that and try out different things, but also on a bigger scale. So I think those two projects really represent like different ways of how to reuse food waste.
Yeah.
Or how you call it?
Surplus.
Plus, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, and yeah, I hope we see each other again soon, maybe, and have a follow-up and see if you reached some new cool things with your materials
Going forward.
forward.
Yeah. Sorry, with all these sort of live videos and meetings during lockdown, you just start being very articulate with your body so that everyone sort of understands.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Also,
what I find.
this thing is
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, thank you guys. So that was really fun. Really great.
We also really appreciate, and everyone check out her page and
like her post.
Yeah, and like the post if you want to. But yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you and bye.
Thank you guys. Bye. Bye, Paula.